tasks here, and then we'll make our way over to the right now, our job is to sign this ketubah, which is an extraordinarily beautiful work of art. So grateful that you have this friend who put this together for you. And the ketubah is a legal document. It's a wedding contract. It says that marriage is more than just living happily ever after. It's a commitment to a lifelong partnership. And it reminds us of the responsibility that we have toward our loved one. So I'm going to, and a traditional one might not have a signature in it, so there's ways in which we sort of still want to make sure it is affirmed. And one of the ways is I'm going to ask you, Jeremy, to say to Natasha to repeat these words after me, which trust me, you'll be okay with these words. So focus on her and repeat these words. You are about to be sanctified to me as my wife according to the customs of Moses and Israel. I will love, honor, respect, and adore you. We will provide for one another as is proper for spouses to do. And now I'm going to ask you, Natasha, to say the same thing back. Repeat after me. You are about to be sanctified to me as my husband according to the customs of Moses and Israel. I will love, honor, respect, and adore you. We will provide for one another as is proper for spouses to do. And with that in mind, I invite you to now sign. There are spots for you to sign right here. That's the logic. we have your two witnesses as well. Who are the two, AD? You want it over here?
Yeah, one him standing right here.
They want to.
Yeah, right? My own
And then we just put on ourselves.
All right, and then I'll do it too because there is a line. All right, that's all yours. And we're now at the stage, so the ketubah is ready to go. It will be reappearing during the wedding ceremony itself. We have a custom in our tradition, what we call bedecken. Think of it as to get bedecked, right? To get clothed, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to place a veil. Well, we're not. Jeremy is going to place a veil over Natasha. And this harkens back to a number of components of our tradition. First, that when Isaac came near to Rebekah, Rebekah's response in the Bible was to put a veil over her face, to show some modesty with a sense that this was going to be her future husband. And then we know I think many of us know the story of Jacob, who then gets a little confused about who he's marrying because he didn't look under the veil during the ceremony. There's that tradition as well. It always seemed a little strange to me, to be honest. Like, you don't know the difference? Okay, well, that's fine. Rachel and Leah looked very similar, I guess, but it didn't matter because of the veil. But I think the third interpretation, which is something that I hold really strongly, is this idea that comes from the teachings of Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach, one of the great thinkers and singers and performers in the 20th century, who says that there are days in our lives when, and anyone here who's been married for a long time knows this, there are days when the love feels a little bit veiled. And we are saying in those moments that the veil over the face is to say, okay, I know that this is not always going to be perfect, but I'm committed to making this work. And as I place this veil over your face, what I'm saying is I'm going to like you whether you are veiled or not. That's my commitment to you. So with that in mind, I'm going to invite you, Jeremy, to place the veil over Natasha and repeat after me a number of words.
We have a veil, right?
Is there a secondary?
There is a secondary.
You're wearing
Yeah,
that.
bring a secondary veil.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, you guys got it.
So you can repeat these words. May you be fruitful and prosper.
May you be fruitful and prosper.
May God make you like Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah.
May God make you like Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah.
May God bless you and keep you.
God bless you and keep you.
May God's countenance shine upon you and be gracious to you. May
God's
God's countenance
sorry.
shine upon you
May God's countenance shine upon you
and be gracious to
and be
you.
gracious to you.
And then may God's countenance
May God's countenance
be lifted up upon you
be lifted up upon you. I don't know what
and give you peace.
and give you peace.
All right. Well, I think we could all just give a big fat
Heart beats fast, colors and promises. How to be brave, how can I love when I'm afraid to fall? But watching you stand alone, all of my doubt suddenly goes away somehow. One step closer. I've died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I'll love you for 1,000 more. Time stands still, beauty in all she is. I will be brave, I will not let anything take away what's standing in front of me. Every breath, every hour has come to this. One step closer. I've died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years.
Please be seated. Mi adir ala kol, mi baruch ala kol, mi gadol ala kol. Hu yivarech et hechatan ve'et hakala. Adir Eloheinu siman tov u'mazel tov. Chatan baruch hu, kala brucha v'na'ah. Welcome everyone to this dazzling event, defined by love, a blessing this couple provides us to celebrate life's potential, to get decked out in our finest threads, to see beautiful things, to delight in delicacies, to sing and dance, to smile and to celebrate. I get to be the Mesader Kiddushin, the one who literally arranges for holiness to enter the life of this couple. A dormant holiness emerging out of this couple's courtship, born out of their love for one another, much more than fleeting desire. Today, Jeremy and Natasha are transforming their independent lives into a lifelong affirmation that the world is better in its very essence when love is made manifest, concretized into living happily ever after. And in such a beautiful setting, we note that there are some who, though not here in body, are with us in spirit, and in particular we acknowledge Natasha's father, Joseph Lewis, Zichrono Livracha, may his memory be for a blessing. Jeremy, Natasha, you are creating your own new world through marriage. The 7 circles represent your first act of creation together, creation of a lifelong destiny. Together you spin a cocoon of safety, a secure refuge, a loving dwelling, a place to call home. Encircling, you weave your souls together into the tapestry of one complete life. You define this space as holy ground. As you circle, a dignified quiet from your loved ones here reflects how profound a moment it is. You define your new sense of center, a planet spinning around your sun, your beloved. Oh boy. I knew this was going to happen.
I know. I feel like we just get cocooned. Maybe bigger circles.
Most literally a cocoon.
I feel like my half's going to be easier.
maybe if you hold the train in your hand. Yeah, okay.
Just big circles. Very large circles. It's an irregular orbit.
Oval, Jeremy.
Gravity itself. Okay.
We have one more after this. How about we let Jeremy do the fourth one for both of you? All right, wonderful. Come on in. So the chuppah that we are under is a powerful symbol. The space beneath the chuppah is a Garden of Eden, and the two of you are the first man and woman. In your union, a new world is formed, and the miracle of creation is renewed. The poles of the chuppah are sturdy, held secure, and yet they are easily lifted and carried, teaching that the home you create together is in your palm, in your pocket. Anywhere that you are together, it is home. And as a side note, you have chosen to get married a mere day before the festival of Shavuot. What a blessing. In Exodus 24, when Moses returns with the Ten Commandments, we learn this language of a wedding. It was a wedding that took place between God and Israel, the Jewish people. So how apropos to be here minutes before Shavuot, a beautiful wedding at our Mount Sinai, celebrating your love. The walls of this chuppah are open, flooded with light, so that the love and support of your families and community might breeze in and lift you, and that your union might burst forth to inspire all of us. And in that spirit, some will include a special prayer, what we call Shehechianu, and I will get my guitar and we will sing that together. And those of you who know this melody, please join in. Close enough. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu vekimanu vehigianu lazman hazeh. Everyone join in the Amen. Okay, it's time for us to have Birkat Erusin, the first blessing of betrothal, and we'll use a special Kiddush cup that symbolizes your Jewish heritage, the customs of our people. This is, I thought it was Sally Schiff, Jeremy's great-grandfather, but apparently it is your great-great-grandfather's Kiddush cup. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al ha'arayot va'asar lanu et ha'arusot v'hitir lanu et ha'nisuot lanu al yedei chuppah v'kiddushin. Baruch atah Adonai. Mekadesh Amo Yisrael al yedei chuppah v'kiddushin. As you share from this cup of wine, so may you share all things from this day forward with love and understanding. Okay. It is time for our ring ceremony, a ritual symbolic of the covenantal relationship which marriage aspires to be. But before we do that, I was going to ask you to take each other's hands, but you just can't help yourselves, can you? Feel those hands. Look at them. These are the loving hands of one another, soon to be transformed by the rings into clay kodesh, holy vessels, symbols of your love for one another, symbols of commitment, of active engagement in one another's lives, a visual reminder of this very day, to be carried with you wherever you two go. Cherish the hands that you hold. May I have the rings, please? Thank you. So the rabbis teach that it's placed on the right index finger. I think we may have discussed this along the way. It's a peculiar choice, but it's done for two reasons. One, this is no ordinary jewelry. This is not the ring of just, a Disney character to put on a ring here and there. This is a special ring, an exceptional ring. And then the other reason we place it on this strange finger is on the right index finger is because there's a tradition that says that there's an artery that goes straight to the heart through the right index finger. Now, I never believed this to be true until I had a stent put in, and it turned out that they went right through that pathway, so it does go straight to the heart. So, Jeremy, I invite you to take this ring and place it to put on her hand, and to say these words which express your commitment to Natasha. Repeat after me. Hare at Mekudeshet li B'taba'at zo Kedat Moshe
B'Yisrael.
Behold, you are consecrated to me with this ring in keeping with the heritage of Moses and Israel. Fantastic. So, perfect. So Natasha and Jeremy, you have chosen to add personal vows to further your expression of commitment to one another, and I'd like us to start with you, Jeremy, to say your words.
No cell phone.
Natasha, I vow to be present and attentive when we spend quality time together, to try to approach our disagreements with kindness, to give you the benefit of the doubt, and to try to see things from your point of view, and even if I need a break, to always come back and push forward for a resolution. I vow to support your many hobbies, your varied careers, and ultimately all of your dreams. I vow to be there for you and appreciate you in the little ways as well as the big. I vow to keep you laughing during the hard times and during the fun times. And ultimately, I vow to love you, the whole you.
thank you. Now, Natasha, it's your turn. You've chosen a different set of words. Here, take that ring. The words that you're going to repeat come from the book of Hosea. It was actually read in synagogues worldwide just this morning, as it turns out by coincidence. And it speaks of this betrothal, of this choice with values embedded in it. So you'll repeat the words after me.
Ve'erastich li
Ve'erastich li
le'olam.
le'olam.
Ve'erastich li
Ve'erastich li
b'tzedek
b'tzedek
u'v'mishpat
u'v'mishpat
u'v'chesed
u'v'chased
u'v'rachamim.
u'v'rachamin.
Ve'erastich
Ve'erastich
li
li
be'emunah.
be'emunah.
You are betrothed to me
You
forever.
are betrothed to me forever.
You are betrothed to me
You are betrothed to me
with righteousness,
with righteousness,
with justice,
with justice,
with kindness,
with kindness,
and with compassion.
and with compassion.
And you are betrothed to me
And you are betrothed to me
with faithfulness.
with faithfulness.
And now it's your turn to add your vows.
Jeremy, I vow that from this day forward I will always be at your side. The good times, the bad times, and all those times in between. I'm going to laugh at your jokes like I always do, when you're funny, and even the times when you're really not. But I'll be there. And I'll try really hard to see how much you're there for me, times when I can't always see it. I'm going to keep learning how to let you support me in the times when I want to be independent and do it all by myself. Because I'm not always good at accepting help, but I like taking your help, and I want to give you mine, always. And I'm excited to start this journey together. I vow to always have your back, and to always try to lift you up when sometimes you can't see a way forward. And I vow to always keep us laughing, and to occasionally make you princess cake. But above all, I vow to love you strongly and purely and faithfully for as long as I take breath on this earth. And I also vow to love going to Disneyland with you. But I do love you so much. And I can't wait to start forever today.
All right, I have a question for each of you. I'm going to start with you, Jeremy. Do you, Jeremy Schiff, take this woman, Natasha Lewis, to be your wedded wife, to live together in marriage? Will you love her, comfort her, honor and keep her in sickness and in health, in adversity and prosperity, in sorrow and in joy, forsaking all others so long as you both shall live?
I do.
Do you, Natasha Lewis, take this man, Jeremy Schiff, to be your wedded husband, to live together in marriage? Will you love him, comfort him, honor and keep him in sickness and in health, in adversity and prosperity, in sorrow and in joy, forsaking all others so long as you both shall live?
I do.
With this ring exchange and your expressed promises to support one another, you two have achieved the first of 3 ways that this ceremony says that you're married. So mazel tov to that. We could stop here, but we won't. The second way is the ketubah. I'll read a portion of this. First, a portion of the Hebrew and then the English, and then I'll hand it to you to give to Natasha. באחד בשבת, 5 לחודש סיוון, שנת 5785 לבריאת העולם, למניין שאנו מונים כאן בהונטינגטון ביץ', איך החתן יהושע בן רימון ומרגוע אמר להדה נטלי חווה בת אברהם ושרה, הווה לי לענתו כדת משה וישראל, ואנה אפלח ואוקיר ואיזון
va'afarnes yetiche leki kehilchot guvrin Yehudain de palchin de umokrin v'zanin umefarnsin l'nsheichon b'kushta. On this day of great joy and celebration, on the first day of the week, the 5th day of the month of Sivan, in the year 5785, corresponding to the 31st day of May in the year 2025, here in Huntington Beach, California, in the presence of family, friends, and witnesses, the beloved partners, Natashia Natalie Lewis and Jeremy Ryan Schiff, stood together under the chuppah to unite their lives in a sacred covenant, affirmed with love, faith, and devotion. They spoke the words and performed the rites that bound them to one another, according to the laws and traditions of Moses and Israel. With open hearts they declared, "You are my best friend, my strength, my soulmate. Standing beside you, I see my love reflected in your eyes, my dreams woven into your heart. Together we build a home filled with kindness, learning, and peace, a home where our Jewish heritage is cherished and where all are welcome. We pledge to honor and sustain one another, to walk life's path as equal partners, loving friends, and unwavering companions. We vow to meet life's trials with quiet strength and courage and to embrace its blessings with wonder, joy, and laughter. Our love will give us the freedom to grow as individuals and the strength to flourish together. With compassion and tenderness, we will care for each other's emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being. We will build a family devoted to generosity, trust, and acts of kindness. We will cherish our traditions, celebrate our faith, and nurture the values that will guide us and future generations. Through this union, we fulfill our destinies. We are eternally grateful for the gifts of each other. And when we grow old, may we walk together hand in hand, still feeling the sweetness of our devotion. May our home be blessed with peace, love, and joy. May God's countenance shine upon us and grant us a life of happiness, health, and harmony. Our sacred covenant is valid and binding. And it was signed by your ADM, your witnesses, and I now hand it to you to give to Natashia. It's all yours, but I'll take it for now. Fantastic. Well, here we are. Being serenaded. Boy, am I lucky. I get to be up here with the two of you, these extraordinary people that you are. Triumph. We made it. Yes. This has been an epic tale. A tale that began on one level back in March of 2021 on Facebook, but really began even years before that. A common background and the power of your networks, such that when asked by your friend Anna, your friend Anna said to you, Jeremy, where is Anna? Thank you, Anna. Your friend Anna said to you, Jeremy, she's really smart and really hot. And so, Jeremy, you took Natashia to Inca Mama and Elisa Viejo, about 20 minutes from here, for a first date. And it was good enough that on your second date, you introduced her to your mom and dad. It got better and better, and after a romantic getaway in Hawaii in 2022, you took the plunge to live together in August of that year. And so we know that it was a match made in heaven, that the two of you share a beautiful love. And so today, the two of you are saying, I do, to a life together. It must have been Beshert. Fate brought you two together. Lots of tenderness, self-actualization. You found one another. Let the story of Jeremy and Natashia unfold. Natashia, you expressed how grateful you are for Jeremy when you wrote, quote, he makes me feel safe, protected, and loved. Jeremy, you also rooted your love for Natasha in the way she makes you feel when you said, "The consistent little ways of supporting me make me feel very loved." And Jeremy, you described Natasha as embodying enchanted qualities, dazzled by her energy. Natasha has a magical way, you wrote, of connecting with almost anyone. I don't know if it's because she's basically lived 9 lives, dancer in music videos, singer on the Sunset Strip, psychologist, surgeon, and can strangely go deep on all sorts of topics, like esoteric jazz musicians from 50 years ago. In short, I would say, you found your Disney princess. And Natasha, you are quite mesmerized by your knight in shining armor. You wrote, "Just seeing his smile sometimes, when it comes so deep from his soul that it shows in his eyes, it's both infectious and medicating." In fact, you remarked twice about his eyes. "I love his eyes," you wrote. So may you always find comfort every time you look at these proverbial windows into his soul. Both of you also wrote of your admiration for one another's intellect, Natasha calling Jeremy brilliant and yet also unassuming, with an intellectual curiosity and incredible knowledge. And Jeremy, you noted Natasha is not only intellectually brilliant, but has a broad set of diverse hobbies and is always learning. And you both admire one another's integrity. Jeremy, you write that Natasha stands up for people when it's the right thing to do, even putting herself at risk if necessary. Her willingness to do the right thing is something that makes the world around her better and is something I deeply appreciate about her. And Natasha, you write, "I see how deeply he cares about his family, his friends, and his work, and how much he cares about me. I'm amazed at how well his values fit my own, and how our goals and preferences are the same." So there is a soul bond that is very deep. Your friends know this. You both know this. You both know. Like the two of you, the Jewish people too will say "I do" to HaKadosh Baruch Hu this weekend during the holiday of Shavuot. Our ancestors, a band of wanderers, emerged at Mount Sinai as a unified nation saying, "Na'aseh v'nishma," we will do and we will hearken. Natasha and Jeremy, today you too are saying, "We will do and we will hearken." When you say "I do" to one another, that this ceremony too is like the theophany at Mount Sinai, sealing a covenantal commitment to one another, a shared fate. It's a pair, esun par. So as we join you in celebrating your status as the world's newest married couple, we also celebrate a world made more beautiful by the two of you. Not just more aesthetically beautiful, but also sweeter. This is the gift of marriage. May your marriage, Natasha and Jeremy, be an inspiration for all who know you, and may your love pour out of your hearts perpetually, perennially, forever after. And may all of your friends and family be inspired by the two of you. It's time for our 7 blessings, the Sheva Brachot. This glass is another symbol of your relationship. Natasha, you picked this up in Italy to be a family heirloom. And so maybe your great-great-grandchildren will one day be able to have their wedding with this under their chuppah. May it be God's will. 7 blessings. As you know, 7 is a symbol of wholeness, and this ritual reminds us of the unique ability of humans to bless one another. So as I offer these 7 brachot, these 7 blessings, I invite your guests to quietly, peacefully prayerfully offer their own blessings for your marriage. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol bara lichvodo. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer ha'adam. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yatzar et adam b'tzalmo b'tzelem demut tavnito v'hitkin lo mimenu binyan adei ad. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ha'adam. Sos tasis v'tagel ha'akara b'kibutz panel letocha b'simcha. Baruch atah Adonai mesameach Tzion b'vaneha. Sameach tsamach re'im ha'ahuvim kisamechacha yitzircha began Eden mikedem. Baruch atah Adonai mesameach chatan v'chala. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bara sason v'simcha chatan v'chala. Asher bara sason v'simcha chatan v'chala. Gila, Rina, Ditza, Vechedva, Ava, Ve'achava, Shalom, Ve'reut, Meher Adonai Eloheinu Yishama Be'arei Yehuda, Uvechutzot Yerushalayim, Kol Sason Ve'kol Simcha, Kol Chatan Ve'kol Kala. Kol mitzhalot chatanim mechupatam une'arim mishte neginatam. Baruch atah Adonai mesameach chatan im hakala. Once again, sharing wine together, say, may you under God's guidance share contentment, peace, and fulfillment from the cup of life. May you find life's joys heightened, its bitterness sweetened, and each of its moments hallowed by true companionship and love. In the presence of these witnesses, Natashia and Jeremy, and in keeping with our traditions, you really have spoken the words and performed the rites that make you a married couple. There's a tradition of wrapping the couple in a talit, a Middle Eastern tradition, and I think we're going to do that with your talis. It's going to be a tight one, but as we do this, we'll wrap the two of you, and we can then offer a prayer. That works. The Birkat Kohanim, one of the oldest prayers in our tradition. They've found copies of it from the 6th century BCE. So as I say these words to you that speak to beneficence in your lives, I invite all your guests once again to pray for you, for your marriage, for your life together. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er panav elecha v'chuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. In the sight of God, the Jewish community, and in accordance with the laws of Moses and the people of Israel and even the state of California, you, Jeremy Schiff, and you, Natasha Lewis, soon to be Natasha Schiff, are now husband and wife. But before you kiss the bride, we have one more ritual. As you break this glass into countless fragments, Jeremy, may it be a reminder that through your union as husband and wife, you make the world less fragmented. May your marriage bring us closer to the day when all people will know love. This is our hope, and may we be blessed through your bringing joy to us today. Amen. Yeah. Mazel tov! Woo! Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov. Yehelanu, yehelanu, yehelanu. Go, you back to your special space. What? Oh, you can kiss. Yes, you can kiss. I thought we knew that. Yehelanu, yehelanu, lecho Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu, lecho Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu, lecho Yisrael. Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov. Yehelanu.
please. Let us all enjoy the first dance into American Idol.
Beautiful and sweet. I never knew you were someone waiting for me. 'Cause we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will give you up this time, darling. Just kiss me slow. Your heart is
song. My lonely days are over, and life is like a song. Oh, yeah. At last, the skies above are blue. My heart was wrapped up in clover the night I looked at you, Jeremy. I found a dream that I could speak to, a dream that I can call my own. I found a thrill to pass my cheek to, a thrill that I have never known. You smile, oh, and then the spell was cast, and here we are. I'm married. And you're mine. At last.
Hello, hello. Hear me now. Yay. Well, good evening, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, Jeremy's my son. Well, on behalf of Margot, my wife, where are you, Margs? Oh, you're behind me again. We're so pleased to have all of you join us today in celebrating Jeremy and Natasha's wedding in Huntington Beach. I think at the wedding there is only one person that I found who actually lives in Huntington Beach here with us tonight. Margot and myself have lived in Southern California for 43 years now. Yay! And I can honestly tell you, we've never been to Huntington Beach. So I figured almost everyone is an out-of-towner, and we welcome you as out-of-towners to join us in our simcha today. As my late dad would always say, can't have enough good times. Today's a good time. No, hanging in there, I'm hanging in there. Natasha, you've been with Jeremy for quite a few years now. I haven't been counting, but Margot has. And we've all seen the special sides of Jeremy. Yes, he's exceptionally bright. At least he thinks so. He always has an opinion, even when he's right. He has always demonstrated his honesty, his integrity, and dedication to whatever he does. But what makes him unique is that when he says he's loyal, he's loyal. He always demonstrates what he believes in. And Natasha, we started to see that same thing in the two of you. But I must warn you that Jeremy always likes to win. I guess you found that out already. I'm very fortunate. There are not many dads who can say this, but I have a very special relationship with Jeremy. Yes, if you don't know, we are both geeks. But do you know when I relinquished the title of primary geek of the family? Let's take you back a little bit in time. When Jeremy was about 6 years old, Uncle Brian and Anne Marie, sitting over there, against Margot's wishes, bought Jeremy a Nintendo. Now, you all may know that Jeremy doesn't have big hands. He's a chef. But even at 6, he could reach the buttons. I remember it was a Friday evening when Brian and Anne-Marie came over, dropped it, said good luck, Margot and Gavin, and disappeared. I sent Jeremy to bed, and I stayed up till like 2 in the morning practicing Mario Brothers. I thought I was pretty good, had a big number, went to bed. About 7 in the morning, I heard a click, click from the den. And there was Jeremy, he was playing. At about 7:30, this little kid who can barely look over the bed frame says, "Dad, what did you score?" I knew I had lost. With a soft smile, he was just beaming that he beat me. Well, I kept going, getting whacked by Jeremy. He learned to code at 8 years old. I only taught him once, and he got it. There are not many people that I've been able to teach how to program in one sitting. When he was about 11, I remember at night I would sit down and play chess with him, and Margot would say, "Let him win, let him win." One evening, I was playing with him, and he had this big grin on his face. You know what that grin means? You nailed. And that was the last time I played chess with him. I guess the one that I always love, and there are many of these stories, but the one I love and I always will remember is working. I retired, and then I started working on a project to help treat AIDS patients in Africa, and I was pretty dedicated to it. And I only ran Microsoft Consulting in Southern California for 10 years, so I knew a little bit about technology, and I worked on the solution for about 2 or 3 months. Eventually, Jeremy came home. The only reason he came home, he's ran out of underwear, and he needed it washed. And I went to him and I said, "I really like this company. I like the idea. I like giving back to our roots." Marg and myself come from South Africa, if you haven't got the accent yet. And I've been working on this problem for a few months, and I cannot figure out how to solve the problem. Jeremy reluctantly said, "I'll look at it." Anyway, at about 10 o'clock at night, he said he got on to his computer and he was playing away. At about 3 in the morning, he comes in and says, "Dad, put on some clothes. I want to show you what I've done." Well, in a few hours, he had solved the technical problems, written a prototype, and the goddamn thing worked. I felt so stupid. Jeremy has the shift genes and reminds me of my late grandfather Solly. Quick as a whip, but often biting in sarcasm. Although I find him funny and enjoy his sarcasm, Mom has finally given up in understanding our jokes. Natasha, you may have support from Margot. But things have, but things haven't changed that much. Margot, it could be your first speech. I created the ceremony pamphlet that you may have seen. When printing the color for the Star of David, they all came out pink. I was befuddled. I went and I used ChatGPT and even Google search to help demystify the problem. It was blue on the screen and pink when I printed it. This pamphlet was for Natasha's wedding, and pink was her favorite color. Natasha, you were haunting me before the wedding. But then I remembered, when you're in trouble and you're in the shift house and Jeremy's there, he will have an opinion. So I went to Jeremy and I said, Jeremy, I don't understand this. How can I fix this problem? So Jeremy said, easy, Dad. Add some blue ink. And mumbled something under his breath. Damn it, it worked. You saw the blue. Natasha, we may not have an alliance, but I think in a short period of time, we will. In the same time, Margot and I have been with you, Natasha. We have both enjoyed and are blessed to witness you caring for each other. You're both strong-willed and opinionated. Learn how to fight and win. I'm still trying. On the other hand, Natasha, I love it when you go the extra mile and we see challah on a Friday night, or we see Hamantashen. And our Hamantashen man looking pretty good tonight. But best of all, you get Jeremy's sense of humor and are always giggling. Don't stop it. It may be cute, but it's contagious. We wish you all the best in the future. May you be blessed with good health, much happiness, and joy. We love you so much. Please join me in wishing you all the very best, Jeremy and Natasha.
Use the microphone. Okay, got it. So about a decade ago, mic closer. So about a decade ago, I'm at a bar, and I overhear this guy trying to flirt with 3 women at the same time. I can't decide what's funnier. The fact that his jokes are going way over their head, or that he's falling flat on his face. First thing I learned about Jeremy is he's witty, he's fearless, and a decade ago, maybe he lacked a certain degree of finesse. So Jeremy comes over and we start chatting, and pretty quickly we've decided we're gonna hang out one-on-one. And so the second thing I learned about Jeremy is he kind of spots like minds pretty easily and quickly, or said differently, I think Jeremy has pretty good taste in people. Yeah, there we go. So being new to San Francisco, I think it's normal to take your new guy friend to tea near the Castro. And pretty soon I realized Jeremy thinks that maybe you're on a different kind of date. So I start telling him about a girl I'm seeing, and pretty instantly, Jeremy's got some insights into my relationship and this girl, and I go, man, this guy's a pretty astute observer of relationships and people and dynamics, aside from the fact that he thought we were on a date. Over the ensuing decade, Jeremy's gotten to be one of my closest friends, and I've learned that there's no more loyal, caring human to be friends with than Jeremy. That's the fourth thing I think I've learned about him. Now, enter Natasha. First thing I learned about Jeremy is he's got a unique sense of humor, and Natasha appreciates it, which is much appreciated. Second thing I learned about Jeremy was he finds like minds easily. And Natasha responded to a cold message on Facebook of all things, which something must have struck, and you kind of connected into the social circle easily, and you spotlight minds also. Third thing, Jeremy is astute observer of relationships. And Natasha, as I've gotten to know you a little bit, I found that you're the same way. You also think about relationships carefully, and you got an intuition for them. And finally, Jeremy is a caring and loyal friend. And as I've watched you embrace, our shared city by the bay and embrace Jeremy's religion, I went, you are committed to the people you care about too. You two are compatible on some really incredible levels. So I'm very glad you found each other, and candidly, I'm glad it happened now rather than 10 years ago, because Jeremy, who was hitting on 3 women at once, I don't think he had the game for you then. So a toast to the game they'll have together.
Hi, I'm going to very enjoyably read this from my phone, as I could not find a printer. Good evening, everyone. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm David. I have the absolute honor of standing here today as Natasha's man of honor. And for those of you who do know me, I'm aware that this is traditionally not a role that's, or rather it's supposed to involve glitter and tears and Pinterest boards. And I brought the emotional availability, but I'm still working on the glitter budget. I've known Natasha since around 2009 or 2010, long enough to confidently say that if you've ever been in a car with her, you've experienced a very interactive experience. And yet somehow you do it again, because being around her is always worth the chaos. And that's the kind of the magic of Natasha. She is the rare kind of person who will fight for you when you're too tired to fight for yourself, who will answer the phone no matter how late it is, who has held my hopes for medicine with more certainty than I have at times myself. She's been my advisor, my confidant, and one of the people who has most consistently reminded me of what I'm capable of, whether I wanted to hear it or not. So thank you so much for that. There's a Hebrew word, it's chesed, that doesn't translate easily into English. It means loving kindness, but also loyalty, compassion, and steadfastness. I noticed you happened to mention it in your vows. It's not just about being nice, it's about showing up even when it's inconvenient. It's the kind of the love that doesn't ask for recognition and just gives. And that's who you are. Jeremy, you've married someone with a gravity all her own, someone who will challenge you, support you, make you laugh when you least expect it, and probably terrify you with her driving. But most importantly, someone whose love is never halfway. So here's to a marriage rooted in kindness, joy, and just enough chaos to keep things interesting. To Natasha and Jeremy, may your life together be full of deep laughter, shared strength, and the kind of love that never stops showing up. May your home be filled with ahava and chesed and laughter. May each of you always feel chosen, even on the hard days. There's a famous blessing that usually is given to newly married couples, and it's Baruch atah bevoecha uvaruch atah betzecha, which is blessed shall you be in your coming in, and blessed shall you be in your going out.
Jeremy. It's my pleasure tonight to toast to the wedding, Jeremy and Natasha. Jeremy and I go way back. Our parents knew each other in South Africa, so when I was born in Southern California, Jeremy, who was born about a year ahead of me, became probably my first friend. Growing up as aspiring computer nerds, we would hang out and do nerd stuff. There were a lot of video games, including that Nintendo that Gavin was talking about, where Jeremy told me emphatically, but to no avail, that lifting the controller would not make Mario jump any higher. Still tried. There's plenty of Star Trek. There was always something we could do with the computers, even if Jeremy would somehow find a way to break them. Or maybe it was Gavin, I don't know, like father, like son. And then there was the weekend where, for some reason, Jeremy taught me algebra. Years before I took a class in algebra, probably during the summer, I'm notebook pages filled with formulas of me solving for X. I still don't know why, but I did. Jeremy taught me algebra when I was like 9. And that's probably the reason why I never pursued a career in computers. No teacher could match Jeremy Schiff. That friendship continued. When Jeremy went to Berkeley, I went up to visit him to see what college was like. And Jeremy, ever the shepherd in these situations, showed me around and made sure I got home okay after I got too drunk at AAPI. I ended up following Jeremy to Cal, and I still remember when I got into Cal, being at my parents' house, which some of you were at just last night, and doing the only shot of tequila that I've ever done in that house, with my father no less, and Gavin and Jeremy. And we did my second shot of tequila in that house last night to toast to Jeremy and Natasha. And that friendship continued even after Jeremy and I lived together for a year. Which is crazy. Not that I lived with Jeremy for a year and am still his friend, but that there are multiple people here who have lived with Jeremy for multiple years and are also here. Not just that came here, that flew to Hawaii for a bachelor party, because Jeremy is a wonderful, unique person who somehow can inspire that in people. And it is my pleasure to be here for you again. Eventually, I moved out of California, and I moved across the country. I'd traveled to the Bay Area to see Jeremy. He traveled to New York to see me. I still remember there was a July 4th weekend where, in the same way that Jeremy showed me around Berkeley, I showed him around the Lower East Side of Manhattan. We got home pretty late that night, and when we woke up the next morning, Jeremy wasn't hungover. He was still drunk when we went to the beach. When Jeremy and I would visit each other, we would always find one night to go get a ridiculous sushi meal. And when that started, he was doing his PhD, I was in law school. So the ridiculous sushi meal was like the sushi deluxe at the college sushi joint. So it was great because it wasn't about the sushi, it was about being with Jeremy. And the sushi started getting nicer. Jeremy goes off and sells a company. I actually get a job. And, we have some better and better meals. I've always treasured them, but the one that I treasure the most is not too long ago when Jeremy came out to stay with my wife Laura and I in Brooklyn with Natasha. And we had heard about this ridiculous sushi place in our neighborhood in South Brooklyn. And so we went out for a dinner. We went out for one of our ridiculous sushi dinners. And a lot of time, a lot of talking, a lot of sake, a lot of sushi. And it was one of the first times I really got to know Natasha. It has been wonderful getting to know you and to get to know the Jeremy that he has become by being with you. He is a wonderful, unique person who is wonderful in his own right. But he's even better when someone is sort of steering him in the right direction sometimes. I'm so glad he's met someone like you, and I'm so glad to be here as you start the next phase of your life together. L'chaim.
So I didn't know if I was in the right room the other day, and then I walked in and I saw a bunch of pink dresses, sequins, and other bright things, and I was like, yes, this is the place. And Natasha was not in the room, which was on brand, and I was in the right place. To the same point that I found out 15 minutes earlier when they're like, you're giving one of the speeches, correct? I'm like, I am? Well, that's helpful to know. So I'm going no notes here. So I met Natasha back in medical school, and medical school in Miami is an interesting place because there's different cliques. It's like, this group is gonna cut each other's throats so that they can get into the best specialty. This group is gonna club and do cocaine. And then there's the eccentric musicians and the creatives, which there are not many of us. So Natasha and I, through medical school, have done so many performances, other musical adventures together, and found sort of our friendship through being the creatives in a very non-creative place. And so that's been nice. But Natasha's always had a taste for the eccentrics, and not always the kindest of eccentrics. So when she told me she had met Jeremy, I was like, who's this guy? She's like, he's interesting. With some skepticism, I was like, oh, okay. So it was my pleasure when I met Jeremy. I'm like, he's eccentric, but he's a mensch. He's like an eccentric mensch. I like him. So it was my pleasure when I found out, they were having the wedding, and I was invited to be there. So I'm thrilled for you two guys and for finding each other, an eccentric and an eccentric, but kind eccentrics who can make kinder eccentrics too. So congrats, guys. I am and thrilled to be here. Support you guys.
So I've known Jeremy my entire life. Before I can even remember, I knew Jeremy. Our fathers worked together at the same company, and my mom's from South Africa, just like Jeremy's parents, and there was an immediate connection over that. And I remember when Jeremy and I were the little kids running around like Dean, and a lot of you remember when we were the little ones. And we know a lot of things change in life, but our relationship has remained constant, and that's truly special. Jeremy was the best man at my wedding almost 15 years ago, so I've had lots of time since then to think about what I wanted to say at Jeremy's wedding. But I always knew this day would come. I never doubted it. Initially, I thought about telling stories about things we did together and experiences we shared, but there's too many to choose from. Instead, I just want to talk about who Jeremy is and how he makes me feel. Like Daryl said, he's a true friend, always there through good and bad. Whenever something happened in my life that I needed support, Jeremy was there. I knew he would be there with no judgment and no criticism and just provide the type of support that you would want from your best friend. He's consistently kind and open and supportive, trusting, dedicated, and loyal, a hard worker with a clear vision of who he is and what he wants to do. There was a time in 3rd grade when Jeremy wrote a story. I'm not going to tell the whole story, but Jeremy wrote a story that was published in our yearbook called The Robot Substitute. And Jeremy, even in 3rd grade, wrote this story about how Gavin had taught him to program, and one day a robot came to teach the class, and Jeremy reprogrammed it to teach us more sophisticated things because it was boring. And how he knew that he was going to be doing machine learning in 3rd grade before that was even a thing, I don't know. But at the same time, he was also always silly. He and I would be laughing, cracking up in the car, our dads threatening us to be quiet. And with Jeremy, as everyone has said, he has his own sense of humor. You either get it or you don't. Fortunately, Natashia gets it. I think she appreciates his humor more than anyone. Jokes that I think miss the mark, Natashia still somehow thinks are hilarious. She's smart, confident, joyful, and enthusiastic, a whiz at trivia that we know from my 40th birthday, and also kind, loving, and attentive. Coming into a community with so much shared history can be daunting, but you joined us effortlessly, becoming a regular at Thanksgiving, hanging with us and my sons, and sharing in our silliness. I'm so excited for you both. L'chaim.
First off, I'd like to say that it is an honor and a privilege to make this toast to two of the most wonderful people I know, uniting as one. There is a Jewish saying, Anil, forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, Anil Dodi Vidodi Li. This roughly translates to, I am for my beloved, and my beloved is for me. It conveys a deep and profound sense of love that is a sentiment that it means exponentially more time after time and year after year. My wise and dear friend, Rabbi Teller, who I asked for help with this speech, has explained that this blessing is not just for Rosh Hashanah, but also a way to honor and celebrate a new union of the Jewish faith. And I would like to pass this small blessing on to you. I am for my beloved, and my beloved is for me. It describes the perfect reciprocal love of give and take, of two parties both invested in the relationship with each other. God loves us, he thinks about us, he cares about us, he cares about us and our relationship. Natashia has given so much Natashia has given so much to join her love, Jeremy. I can say without a doubt in my heart that these two were made for each other. I think it's proven by her taking the time and dedicating her spirit to join the faiths of her beloved. Perhaps one of the greatest showings of love, respect, honor, and companionship one person can give to another. I feel honored to stand up here and give this short speech to two people who have proven time over time and year over year that making changes and sacrifices for one another in the most altruistic way imaginable. And anyone who knows them can vouch for this. They are each other's halves. Together, they are complete. I wish you all the love I hold in my heart. I wish you both a lifetime of love, laughter, joy, and happiness. Mazel tov. I wish all the blessings of Hashem upon both of you. Now, if I can ask everyone to please raise their glasses and let's toast to our dear friends and wish them a Shiva Barakot, the 7 blessings that prove the love these two share for another. So, with that said and done, L'chaim. I love you and God bless.
All right. Thank you, Kabir. And now I believe Jeremy and Natasha have something they'd like to say.
It means so much to have everyone here today, to have so many friends that I've known for 10, 20, even 40 years. It's pretty crazy. And then there's the family. You've all seen me grow up. And just everyone seeing everyone here has made me reminisce about all the amazing memories with all of you. John was saying, Daryl, I mean, everyone here, there are just too many memories to count. People are here from all over the US, from Canada, from Australia, from South Africa. It's pretty insane that everyone has come all this way. Some of you even come from the west side. I'm also really excited to be spending, I'm also excited to be spending so much more time with Natasha's friends and family, and to continue building relationships with all of you as our families become one. Natasha, in the weird digital age we live in, I was able to pull up the first thing I ever said to you. Some people have talked about it tonight. So the literal quote was, "Hey, Natasha, Facebook keeps trying to connect us, and I'm intrigued by the versatility of your left and right brain activities, as I'm similar." Riveting, right? We have a ton of mutual friends, and you have a breathtaking smile, so I thought I'd say hi. How's your weekend going? I never imagined how much one message would change my life for the better, and how right I was. It's hard to describe how in some ways we are so similar, and in other ways so complementary. It often feels surreal, like the universe created you just for me. Whew. The list of similarities goes on and on. Some feel a little uncanny. We both played violin. We both had frogs, but oddly, you were the one who had bullfrogs, not me. We both went to the Nerdy Magnet program, but thank God I didn't meet you back then because you were the popular one and I was way too awkward and nerdy. That would not have worked. We love the same music and weird things changing about science. We're both super nocturnal, both love to play video games, often together. It's amazing to me. We both love to travel to weird international places. I even found a woman who likes sci-fi as much as I do. Though one day you'll understand that Star Trek is better than Star Wars. But we have our whole marriage to fight that out, so it's okay. Then there's the complimentary stuff. The fact that our running joke is that if we're on an airplane and someone asks for a doctor, we ask if they need me as a doctor for the plane or you as a doctor for someone on board. You make amazing food for 3 times more people than are attending, and manage to make sure every event is over the top. What better example than this one? And I'm the entertainment, making sure everyone's laughing and connecting. Then there's the more serious stuff. We have similar values, similar politics, most importantly, similar attitudes to the way we want to build a life together. You took an incredible leap moving to the cold, cold San Francisco, but have created a warm, plant-filled home. You have such a big heart. You care about everyone, and you're always there to support your friends however you can, whether it's a simple conversation or taking someone through a medical emergency. And you take care of me with my crazy startup lifestyle. I love how much you care about everyone around you. It's amazing. I hope it never changes. We're both focused on learning, self-improvement, and growth. It astounds me how much you're able to grow and change. It's something I find really unique and profound about you. It's really hard to describe, and it's something I appreciate every day. You're always looking to challenge yourself, making crazy crafts, picking up new skills, and are happy to try new things that most people wouldn't even consider. Your crazy life filled with music videos, I can show you them if you're interested, singing on the Sunset Strip, doing psychiatry, medical research, and surgery. I'm excited to grow with you, build a home, a family, and everything else along the way. You're my love, my lifelong companion, my soulmate, who at times seems made just for me. I love you now, I'll love you forever, and your smile still takes my breath away. So cheers to you, cheers to us, cheers to everyone who's here to support us as we grow, and cheers to the next stage of our relationship. L'chaim. I need it.
How to follow that up. Yeah, thank you everybody for being here, honestly, supporting all of us. One of the best things about tonight is how we have so many people from so many different phases of our lives, you know, just like so many different eras, because like we all go through different phases and eras of our life, or especially me. I have, like you said, many multifaceted things, and I have friends here from so many different pieces of my life. Like, and my friends from medical school, I have my friends that I met when I was acting, my friends that I've met at weird random places like Maggiano's for God knows what reason. And like, just so many people who have touched our lives and who've become really key players in our stories. And it's nice to finally have them all under one roof, getting to know each other, becoming a community as we become a family and start a family of our own. It's really important for me, and I really appreciate that everybody here tonight is here. And to those who aren't here, but are here in spirit, it means the world. I know my father would be really, really happy right now. There's so many things that you remind me of, and that's great. But it's funny, because there is another very important person to me, my best friend Kendra, who passed away several years ago, who Kabir also knew, who grew up with also. It's very funny, but when I was 11, we would talk about like just what we saw in the future for ourselves, you know, because like you do when you're a kid, you just talk about what you think you're gonna do when you're gonna grow up, what you think your life is going to look like, and most of the time it's silly, stupid things. But I don't know, there was this one day we were talking about what we imagined our future boyfriends to be. And then we started talking about who do we think would eventually marry. And for whatever reason, we got really specific. She thought she was going to marry someone named Chris. And I said, no. That's common. I know exactly who I'm going to marry. I'm going to marry this guy. He's going to have blue-green eyes. His name's going to be Jeremy. I kid you not. This is written down. I did not know anyone named Jeremy at the time. I didn't know anyone else named Jeremy for a really, really long time. And I've never really been close with anybody named Jeremy until I met you. And it was just very funny. It was like she was smiling down the day I met you, because everything just aligned. And we met during the height of the pandemic, frankly. You know, there wasn't a lot of positivity going on in the world right then. Like, everything was pretty scary. Like, you know, you weren't thinking about positive things that could happen. Everyone was just kind of worried about how to protect what they currently had and watching things slip away. And the last thing I thought that was going to happen was that I was going to meet the love of my life in a random message. I mean, it was more of just like, people were like finding out updates on what was happening in terms of the spread. And all of a sudden, someone reached out to me who I'm like, wait a second, you know how many people in common? But I don't know you? I kind of thought he was a troll, actually. Like, I knew he was a troll because I know everybody in that program. So I had to back channel. I called Nate Braun. I called Chris Day. I mean, it turned out he called Anna North too. So, like, it wasn't just me thinking this. But I was like, there is no way that I don't know him and that he's kind of, like, socially functional too. Like, that's not possible. I was like, something's not right here. But he seemed to check the background check. It was the best decision I've ever made. And Jeremy, you are such a unique individual. Like, everything about you amazes me daily. I learn something from you every day. And your capacity to change and to grow, and how I have seen you grow with us together, and how you have encouraged me to grow is amazing. Like, you bring out the best in me, and you challenge me every day. And I see you want to do the same, and that's amazing to me. I love that you like me the way I am, and don't try to tell me to change or to be anything different. And I really love you exactly as you are, all the ways that you are, including the humor that some people don't find funny. But I do. But the point is, you're an incredible person, and I'm so lucky to be your wife. And I am so lucky to be surrounded by all of these amazing friends and family. And thank you for everything. Like, we're just so happy to celebrate with you right now, and so excited to start this new chapter. So thank you, guys.
Cheers to all of you.
Is this the little boy I carry? Is this the little boy at play? I don't remember growing older. When did they? When did she get to be a beauty? When did he grow to be so tall? Wasn't it yesterday when they were small? Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset, swiftly flow the days. Seedlings turn overnight to sunflowers, blossoming even as they gaze. Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset, swiftly fly the years. One season following another, laden with happiness and tears.
Take the long way home if it meant I'd go walking by your door. Together we could see where the road will lead to the unknown. There is no end if you believe. Just take my hand and come with me. sun